thank you so much to come and check out this video. My name is Alejandra. You're watching Wildflowers Within on YouTube. And I am what am I? Isn't that like so like deep of a question? I'm an inspirational speaker. I'll give you like what I say in my title. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a soul coach. I'm a mystic. I'm the creator of Blessed Jewelry. These are my rosaries. And I am a Guadalupana por vida. The Virgen de Guadalupe is my everything. She is my entry point into love of all forms. So that's me in a nutshell. And I've been doing these YouTube videos. I started a really, really long time ago. If you're just joining me for the first time, well, really long time ago. I started in 2020. And it was meant to be a spiritual channel talking about my spiritual awakening. And then it's kind of just evolving into, I don't know, what else do I want to share about? And then I got into astrology and I'm like, oh my God, why are people not paying more attention to the planets? So right now we're on a Venus retrograde in Leo theme. If you saw my last video, it was hilarious. And I wanted to make fun of grieving. And I'm making fun of it. I was making fun of it at the time. I was going through deep, deep grief work. Denial is literally the first stage. When I saw it, it was like, oh, this is actually really true. And now that I'm happy to announce that I am past the first stage. I have broken through the floodgates. And I wanted to talk about what this Venus retrograde in Leo has been teaching me, right? And I hope you appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. This may not be your Venus retrograde experience, and that's okay. All right, you might be having a great one. You might have just gotten engaged and, I don't know, like had a baby or whatever. Good for you. I'm really happy. And that's not mine. The teacher that I'm doing astrology with, I took in my second year of studying astrology, ancient astrology for the modern mystic. He came on and he talked about Venus retrograde in Leo. And he said something really interesting. He said it can almost feel Shakespearean. It can almost feel Shakespearean. And I don't know about you, but I love a good Shakespearean play. I love them. There is, and if you've been watching me, you know, the storyteller inside me, and the performer inside, right? The one who wants to be on stage telling the story. I freaking love it. And it was interesting as I've been going through this Venus retrograde. And I wanted to first, let's just talk about the orbit and the planet itself. So Venus is the goddess of love, represents the goddess of love. She represents the beauty that we see in the world and the fight and the conflict of what we see that is not beautiful, right? She represents our desires, our passion, our sexuality. And now she's transiting this house of the sun. Leo is the home of the sun, the noble lion king. And so if you've ever seen the orbit of Venus, if you have never seen her pattern, it is stunning. It is a 5-petaled flower. Yes, the goddess of love dances around in the cosmos and weaves a 5-petaled flower. I mean, can you love her even more? I love her. And every time she comes in to make one of those 5 petals, she is on the innermost loop of that flower. And when she starts to do that loop, from our perspective on Earth, it looks like she's moving backwards. She's actually not moving backwards. Planets are always moving, and they're turning and they're dancing, but they're always, from their perspective, moving forward. And when I feel into this spiritually, and I was a dancer, right? I grew up a dancer. I went to an arts high school for dance. I, still take my Zumba, my dance fusion class at the gym is like my happy place, right? I love you, Stephanie, by the way. That's my dance teacher. Shout out to Stephanie because she's amazing. I feel like I'm at a Laker girl audition every time I go to her class. It's so fun. Anyway, that aside, if I am imagining Venus in her orbit as a dancer, retrograde to me is like I'm about to do this turn, and for the first time, I'm looking back and I get to see the entire dance that I have been doing for the past 18 months prior to my last retrograde. So the last retrograde was 18 months ago in the sign of Gemini. And as I was processing this grief, retrograde is this time of reflection where I'm looking and I'm seeing every single thing I did as it relates to love, as it relates to expressing love, as it relates to wishing and calling it in. And it hurt to see all of the ways that I did not behave in a way that was congruent with my heart's prayer and my heart's desire. And that hurt. Go watch that last video because I'm making fun of it. It's like a Mexican drinking song and I'm playing it up, but dang, it really hurts to take responsibility and see my role and my part. I wasn't the only person in that dance, right? There was someone else, but I take responsibility for the part I played, and ouch, it hurt. So, in order to move through the stage of denial, in order to pass through the floodgates and really have that big shift, for me at least, when that broke open, it felt like I just had to stand in the fire and burn. I had to cry it out. Oh my God, can't even tell you the tears I shed, the weeping, the llanto, this like, that comes out of me, because it's a curse and a blessing at the same time, but I can freaking feel. Pluto is kicking it like right next to my moon in the 5th house. So need I say more? And I allowed myself to have that. And then once, and praying that, okay, once I get through this, there's got to be something, the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And in a very Shakespearean way, I got to tell you, the tragedy I thought I was starting off with retrograde, I thought I was going to have the shittiest experience ever. It is, in fact, turning into one of the most incredible Shakespearean experiences I have ever known in love. Hallelujah! It's incredible. And surprises, right? There was a square with Venus and Uranus were in a square where there's like shock and awe can happen in love and all of these things. Let me tell you, I had a ex-boyfriend reach out to me and read to me an amends letter, making amends for all, his transgressions when we were in a relationship. And we were together like, oh my God, like 20 years ago. And I can't even tell you the level of vulnerability I had with him the level of intimacy in that conversation, the tears that came from me, and just got to thank him for all the work he's doing. It was such a beautiful surprise to see his divine masculinity birthing through. And for me, my divine feminine, to be receiving it. It was such a gift. If I write, actually, I know I'm going to write a book. This is going to be one of the juiciest parts. This retrograde, the poetic justice. I was in these beautiful spiritual works over the weekend, and the light that came in to all the wounds, the conversations I got to have with key people in the drama. I got to have those, and I was solid. I had my feet firmly planted on the ground. So as Venus now is in this dance, as I saw all the ways in which I betrayed myself in love, we're about to hit a cazimi on the 13th. A cazimi, if you don't know, it's when a planet is in exact alignment with the sun. And I have this actually in my natal chart. I am a Virgo cazimi. The sun is at 3 degrees in my 4th house, and Venus is at 3 degrees in my 4th house. And in ancient astrology, they saw this as a time of reset, that there is like a brand new awakening within whatever planet is being infused by this solar power. So that's going to take place for all of us. Wherever Leo sits in your chart, you are going to have a moment of the goddess rebirthing. And if there is one lesson that is solid, that is freaking golden, that I'm going to carry with me in this next orbit, in these next 18 months of dancing another beautiful petal, it is this. Love is not a battle to be won. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments because, I'm just talking to myself right now into my camera. So this is not meant to be a rhetorical question. So if you feel like answering me, I'd love to know. But how many of you have this place inside of you that thinks you need to fight for love? Anyone? Bueller? Because I do. That place is somewhere inside. It's one of my parts. And in the looking back and reflecting, when I thought I was fighting for love, what I was actually doing, although it felt very poetic in my heart, I was just setting things ablaze. I was just causing drama. And it was this wounded voice inside speaking out, thinking it's speaking nobly, but in fact, it was trauma speaking. Love, true love, there is no battle to be won. That person is either going to be in our heart or not. They won't need to fight to be in there. Can you feel that? If you're going through a breakup, or if you're reflecting back on relationships that didn't work, did you feel like you needed to fight? Like you were in some sort of battle? That's not love to me. Now there's growth and evolution once you're in partnership with someone. There is what we call commitment and what it takes to fulfill a commitment. But it should not feel like a battle. Love is met in a place of understanding. Love is met in this place of deep intimacy where you open yourself up and see yourself inside deeply and allow the other person to see it so that there is empathy. That is my biggest lesson from this retrograde. And we're not even done yet. She doesn't turn station or turn direct until September 4th. I'm looking forward to this Kazemi on the 13th. I'm looking forward to the reset inside my heart. And may I remember this lesson and call it in. And if it helps your journey in any way, shape, or form, may it be so. That's what I got. I hope you like it. And I'm bringing back comedy at the end of this episode. Yay! I gotta make sure I don't clap so loud. Last time I clapped really loud in the last video, it cut off the audio. So I'm like... I chose the movie Spaceballs. And what I love about this scene is Princess Vespa, that I can see a little bit of myself in the character. I have a little princesa inside me. It's okay, I'll admit it. She's in jail, and she just thinks she's like, that's it, dude. I'm in the dumps, you know? I can't believe what's going on. And so she's just like in her process of feeling really low. But what she doesn't know is she's about to get rescued. And then it's going to be a happy ending later on in the movie. So I wanted to bring that moment. I wanted to reenact that moment. I couldn't reenact the other two characters, the guys in the hallway. It was just too complicated trying to film something like that or recreate something because I'm a one-woman show. So I hope you enjoy it. Please like and comment and subscribe to this channel. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love feedback. And I'm also leading a retreat in Brazil this November. So if your heart feels called, if you've ever want to work with plant medicine, if you'd love to experience the country that broke me open, that's the intention we are holding for all the people who come. There's just a few spots left, like 3 spots left. And so click the link in the description and it'll take you to the information on the retreat. And if you join us, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited to go back to Brazil later this year. I need it. So thank you so much. And without further ado, I present to you a scene from Spaceballs, Princess Vespa, Nobody Knows.
Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows but Jesus. Nobody knows the trouble I see. Lord.